Welcome to Lesson 3, Factors of Production. In the previous lesson we considered two approaches to solving the economic problem in an orderly manner rather than letting anarchy reign. There is the command economy approach, such as when your parents tell you to vacuum the living room floor, or a king tells you what land you now own because of your prowess on the battlefield or elsewhere. Or a government official tells you what prices to charge for your services, even though they are not buying the services. Then there is the market economy, in which people transact face-to-face or through online outlets to purchase goods and services that they want at the prices they can offer, given their preferences and budgets. The economic problem that we all face involves production, distribution, and consumption. In this video, we'll be looking at the production side of the equation. Here's a principle. If you want to consume something, you need to produce it. No production, no consumption. On a big picture, if we are concerned about the lack of consumable resources such as food and shelter for the poor, we need to know how we can facilitate more production, cheaper production, better distribution. In the command economy approach, the monarch or president orders that resources be taken from some people to give to others that they deem needing them. The order is effected through the threat of penalties if the order is not fulfilled, fines, prison, even violence. In the marketplace, entrepreneurs note a lack of consumables in an area, and since they make a profit from trade, they enact commercial ideas to bring produce to these markets. The customers benefit from more produce being available, and competition between the distributors, the entrepreneurs, such as shops, act to reduce prices. No violence is threatened or enacted. So we've been talking about goods and services and imagining the resources that we buy to consume, such as food and clothing or shelter, but some of the world's stuff around us is used in the production process to make the things that we eventually consume. These we call factors of production. The concept is useful in opening our eyes to the complexity of the market economy around us. When we enter a town shopping area, what we see on first glance is what is being offered to sale for us to buy. When we think again about how those shops exist, how long they have existed, how they get their hands on the materials that they're selling, and how they advertise or communicate, and so on, we are looking at the depth of the economy rather than just the surface. Unfortunately, many economic commentators only talk about consumer sales and the retail price index and consumer price index. But most of the world's economy of production, distribution and consumption is taking place behind the facade of the shops. This is the business-to-business world, or the primary and secondary structures that we learn of in geography, simply understood as extraction, manufacturing and retail. And in between each, we should add that there is distribution. Now in economics, these structures are useful, but we also consider the resources required for production, and we call these the factors of production. Now, for scoring well on economics exams, we define the factors of production as falling into four categories: land, capital or tools, labour and entrepreneurs, which for the moment, these latter two I'll call people, individuals like you and me, who get things done. Most things that get produced generally require all of these inputs. Some may just need people, a helping hand as it were. For instance, consider a car. This has been manufactured at a factory using a complex array of physical capital, tools and machines. The factory takes up land, which needs to be paid for or rented, and it needs labourers, people, to work in the factory, even if at the extreme they're just monitoring the automated robots. It also needs individuals, whom we call entrepreneurs, the men and women who seek to improve the production process or the design of the car, or economise on costs and engage in research and development, or who see gaps in markets and maybe even want to drive the direction the market is heading. No pun intended. Entrepreneurs, in a nutshell, bring land, labour and physical capital together creatively and adaptively to bring a good or service to the market, or to improve on what's currently being done. They make decisions based on their beliefs about what people want and how best to serve them. They may also draw on their own or others' investment capital, also known as financial capital, to fund their ventures. What about a person offering a counselling session? No tools are required. We could imagine a conversation-style counselling rather than a psychologist taking notes with a pen, physical capital. The words become the tools of the trade, as it were, the know-how, or what we may call human capital. In other words, the counsellor uses their learned knowledge and experience to help their client with questions and considerations, all verbal. The goal of our education and learning is to improve that human capital, so we are more productive, more adaptable, and even more creative about what we do, and hence more marketable. So here's a quick summary. The 4 factors of production are land, labour, capital, and entrepreneurs. So you go for a job. What kind of factor of production are you? Take a look at this image. What factors of productions do you see? Finally, what kind of factor of production is this?